Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for FOF Day 2 for the Helios division, and we're going to start off today with the match between Pentakill Timo and Coin Flip Gaming. I'm here with Anti. How are you doing today, man?
Hello, hello. It's good to be back. Haven't casted with you in a long time now, found.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been quite a while. I can't
Yeah.
remember the whether or not I could have sworn we should have had at least the finals last season or something. We should have got something special because
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah. It
this is
would have
the
been
crew right here.
great. Oh
It's
boy.
okay.
But speaking of stuff from last season, PTP already a game on the board. When we didn't see a single game from last season. So
Yeah, they're
already showing off some stuff.
100% approval right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Snatching one for Team Girl. Theocles is, still upset, but he's now back to work, back in the corner. But at least they did show that they had a lot of grit, a lot of heart to make sure they could push through, even when they were down really far yesterday. So, I think their match against Coin Flip would be a little bit harder than what they faced yesterday. So they're gonna need to step it up if they want to continue on that winning streak.
Is that an unironic Yumi ban?
Uh, I don't know. I'm stumped, man.
Okay, so the Diana and the Pantheon make a lot of sense. We saw Pantheon being used to great extent by Journo, and Diana always going to be a strong jungler in the meta right now. The Yumi is, wow, that is not a conventional ban, I would say.
Well, I would say both sides kind of are being more player focused. At least that's what we've been seeing with the league so far.
Mhm.
Xerath and Anivia definitely aren't prototypical bans, but those are something Gravio kind of gravitates to, and they are good matchups into Rise. So I'm happy that they're thinking a little bit ahead. I hope that Coin Flip is also going to utilize this Rise for its flex potential. It can go both mid and top and be
Mhm.
quite effective in either of those lanes. So, uh, I mean, as long as the draft seems very focused on what the meta is right at the moment, so we haven't seen anything super special yet.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing the Leona pick up first. If you don't have any flex picks, then going for pure comfort, never a bad option. Leona Vayne, really, Leona Vayne blind. That's a statement. That's a statement and a half.
Yeah, the gauntlet is thrown down a little bit. Thresh is such a strong laner and is good into Leona, so you're already kind of losing on that front. And then if a Varus or something else that's a strong laner comes through, it's really difficult for Vayne to play the game, especially with Ashe being one of her main counters, and that also is being into the meta. So
Also,
yeah,
Caitlyn.
and Caitlyn. I guess Vayne is really confident in that matchup, especially now that Cassiopeia is locked in, super late game focus with this is basically one of the strongest late game combos you can have between a mage and an AD carry with how much damage output they have.
Yeah, and as we saw yesterday, PTP very much playing for the late game with quite a doozy of a game we had yesterday.
Yeah, 60 minutes is dream, man. That's all we got to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I guess if you get to 6 items, it's not going to be bad. The question here, honestly, just kind of comes with what do you ban next? So we're seeing the Graves banned out from CFG, and it seems like we're just going to continue with the very player-specific banning. Not going to do like general good picks, as in like generally strong picks in the meta, but more of just, hey, what does this player play? What do we not want to see? Um, and I feel like if I'm PTP here, I want to take Set off the table because I feel like you just kind of want to start making frontline for your Cassiopeia and your Vayne. So you just want to get rid of Set so that way you can play a proper front to back team fight.
Yeah, they already are set up quite well for that. That could just be more of the option. It seems like jungle is going to be a heavy focus. The best junglers available is there's still quite a bit of options. Zen is still up. Viego is also available. So I expect both teams to get a relatively competent jungler. And since these lanes aren't hyper volatile, at least at the moment, its jungle pick is going to really infringe of how this early game is going to play out.
All right, so what are we going to see from CFG here? The Kayn.
Okay. So the Kayn is returning.
All right, so we're getting the Kayn once again. And, it didn't necessarily look the strongest against INT, but, it's INT. We already know that INT is going to be very, very strong. So hopefully we'll see it being used to better effect here. What do we see from PTP?
Kane has been making a bit of a resurgence, especially in this league particular. Just his ability to be so versatile with how he can go the assassin route or the bruiser route, depending on the game state. You can tell a lot by what rune he goes, if he goes Conqueror or Dark Harvest. But honestly, both flavors of Kane are real. Are can be really useful, and I'm honestly not that surprised to see it return, even if it did have a little bit of a rough game yesterday.
Okay, so we get the Poppy. Oh, that's Poppy Jungle. Interesting.
Yep, that's the only thing. It could be Poppy Jungle, so I don't really have much for Poppy Jungle. I know her clear isn't that bad, and her ganks can be okay if she has some follow-up CC like a Leona. So her options will be quite limited, but she is very good into mobility or dashes, but there's not that many dashes when coin flip gaming.
Yeah, set. Like I said, if you're trying to make a front-to-back team fight, you have to take set off the table.
Yeah, he definitely is going to have a solid match. I don't know. I think Pentakill Timo has picked a very easy to execute team composition, so I'm going to err more on that side. Anti, what do you think, man?
I don't know. I think that in terms of like ordering in the draft, CFG had a much nicer one. But then when you put all the pieces together, the team composition itself isn't too coherent. So it's really just going to rely on them getting ahead and making use of that lead. So if CFG is just better in the early game, I think they can end it out with a winner. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely, but there's only one way to find out, and the game is just getting started. So this is going to be game one of the Helios division, and I cannot wait to see PTP try to reprise their role and collect up a second victory this week.
And as we saw in the season before last, PTP, ended out with a third place finish. Last season ended winless, so hopefully maybe it's just a bit of a mixture between one season we're doing hot, the other season not so much, etc., etc. You know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are quite the meme team. So, but you can tell at least the way they're coming into this early. They're picking very standard compositions, very common champions that we've seen for quite a while, especially now that Cassio is coming back. I think that helps Graviel a lot since he is very much a mage player, and there's a lot of options to come into. So, I think Pentakill Team was in a pretty good place to do a lot better this season than they previously did last one.
Yeah, honestly, the more I think about this, the more I like PTP's composition. It's really going to matter with how they execute on these picks, though. Like, the moment you start bleeding, you can't try to fight it. You just kind of have to like give things up until you're able to fight again. Oh, nice trade from Pole Vaulter here.
Yeah, just getting those autos out. Both these champions have a lot of sustain early, so we're not going to expect anything super aggressive to come out, especially in the early levels. But now with Fake Archer and Saddest racing for level 2, they're going to get a decent trade onto Cyber Skull.
Oh.
And Pole Vaulter's getting pretty low. Wukong has a lot of armor level 1.
Yeah, but at the same time, getting low in those trades is totally fine for Set, because this passive means you're just going to heal up to half anyway. Now, interestingly enough, Pole Vaulter only has 2 CS.
Yes.
So, like, going for trades is definitely nice, but if you're not getting any... if you're giving up CS for them, you have to make sure that your opponents are also missing them. So, Wukong's in a much better spot here right now.
Yeah, and with the wave being pushed out, so this is going to be a slow push back into him. So he is going to have a good opportunity to pick up a little bit of CS. But yeah, as you were saying, the CS has been going into big sneaky. Jesus, this guy's name is going to be a mouthful. But yeah, it has been going into his favor early. And honestly, Set taking a couple bad trades isn't the end of the world as long as he can pick up a little bit more of the CS.
All right, and like I said earlier, taking those close trades in the early, not too bad.
And here is the first kink of the game with Kane coming in. That's going to be the flash, forcing out the Wukong flash also. So really aggressively getting those red orbs down early. And honestly, a decent transition since now he's going to have some priority to go for this crab.
Yeah, and the question is Pole Vaulter going to roam down? Okay, so we're seeing Journo roaming in from mid, making use of that priority there. And this should be a secured Scuttle Crab for Kane here.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to contest it. This is a 2v2, but Kane is against the wall, so Pure Llama is
Oh
going to
no,
take a bunch
flash!
of damage and going to be stunned up, and he's just going to drop to Cassiopeia. That is something you do not expect when you see how much damage Poppy can put out in these early levels, but you have to respect the wall stun.
Oh boy, there's like just so little that he could do there. You see Kane's grounded, so he can't Q out. Poppy's got the W up, so he still can't get out. And no flash means that even if he tries going through the wall, he's not going to make enough distance.
Yeah, there was no way to escape, and that is a hard kill to get over because now Poppy is going to be able to move down and potentially go for a double scuttle. The smite is also still available, so Kane is really tempo oriented, and he needs to maintain an advantage in speed and clear. But if Poppy gets something early, he could get to the point where he can just solo kill the Kane in the jungle.
Now, right now, Pole Vaulter has quite a bit of priority on the Wukong. Wukong doesn't have flash, so it's a question as to whether or not Kane decides to regank that in a bit. Just gonna be the trade of scuttles, nothing too big from Poppy here. But, you know, Biggest Deke is just gonna continue to farm up, not feeling too bad about being down in health, as long as the CS still comes in.
Yeah, he's gonna take a bunch of damage on some of these trades. Set is just sustaining through a lot of it, and with the clone down, this gank is really dangerous. Set can easily turn a 2v1 if that's gonna be the avenue that we're going for, but we're gonna look into bot lane where both the Ashe and the Vayne are farming quite evenly, and this is not a good sign because Ashe is expected to bully a little bit harder than she is.
Interesting. I feel like they tried to bait the, Oh, boy. Yeah, not quite. I feel like they tried to bait Pole Vaulter into going in there with the recall, but Poppy was recalling on a ward. Unfortunately, no sweeper, so you can't really check out whether or not that was there. But this game is honestly going really well for PTP here.
Yeah, very good landing so far. No real discrepancies in the matchups with a hook landing. So Fake Archer is going to get a decent trade. The Flay is not going to be followed up. A big minion wave also, so they're not going to opt to fight into that. But yeah, it's been a really quiet early game, especially for how PTP you played yesterday, where it was almost a kill a minute.
Yeah, and I love this from PTP because, as we said, you know, PTP, as long as they're doing nothing, and like in the early game and they're not getting behind, they're in a perfect position for that late game. Because once you hit 6 items on these carries, like, I don't know how many other champions in the game could really do more damage than this.
Yeah, and at least in each individual matchup, Cassio is actually one of the premier counter picks into Ryze. It's a very difficult matchup for Ryze to navigate, and with so much CC that can come down between a Poppy and a Wukong, it's going to be really hard for the Ryze to be able to get optimal damage out. So in a case where the 80 carries are your main damage source because the mids are neutralizing each other, Vayne will just do more. So PTB has to be pretty happy with how this early game is going out.
Especially because, you know, if you have Poppy's W up and Cassiopeia's grounding poison, just
but
like
here
that.
we go. This is Cyber Skull who's going to be face checking the gank. The hook is going to go wide. Fake Archer is not going to find it. The play has yet to be used, and that's going to be Cyber Skull being forced to flash out. Now a teleport is coming in, and that's going to be all she wrote because there's no further trade. Povelter is going to be burning that, and he had TP advantage, so that's going to be not enough advantage that he was expecting, but they're going to be running for this dragon now.
They're gonna try to see if they can get some drag pressure off of this. It should be a 5v5 right now, actually. And Cyborg Skull, you know, down a level, down some health, but it doesn't seem like CFG really want to take this fight.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna opt to back out. They have a decent amount of resources, and Leona is quite low herself. Plus, Vayne has not opted to walk over just yet. The dragon hasn't been started, but they have no vision, so there's no way that they could have known that. And now they're going to be pushing into the river a little late. But Povelter is just taking a really bad trade in the mid lane, so he's going to be chunked out if they even are going to attempt to fight this.
Yeah, good stuff from Graviel, picking up that CS, pushing it in, and getting the good trade on Pole Vaulter. And just like that, CFG have burned a teleport and haven't gotten much of anything in response.
Yeah, with both teams opting to just go back to lanes, and the teleport just did not give the Povelter a big advantage. But now here's an all-in. The ultimate has been used from Biggest Nekus, and Povelter has already used the fifth. He's going to be getting kited out. It looks like Set is going to be able to walk it out with just too much sustain available. But that is the ultimate forced out of Wukong, and he still has a pot, so he should be okay. But yeah, it looks like the wave is going to be in a tough spot. This could easily freeze for quite a while.
And just like this, Pole Vaulter gonna go in, has vision, knows that the jungler should not be here. Yeah, and Wave's gonna be pushed all the way in, no freeze, and Skin's Boy just gonna get out by the skin of his teeth, I think.
Yeah, the Wallstar hasn't
but
come
goes
in,
right
but he's
back
going to go
in.
for the Smite still. He's just going to get chain CC'd. The ultimate is going to be available in Cyber Skull. He's going to be able to flash out, so he's actually still going to be available. Less Vanal is going to flash heal and pick him up. That's going to be a blue buff just delivered, and Vayne is going to be quite happy picking up such an early kill. But yeah, the Dragon just is going to go over to Poppy, and PTP has done a very good job maintaining objective control and forcing bad fights, as Pure Llama's just going to kill Giovanni in the mid lane.
Okay, how did this one happen? So Graviel sitting in mid, very, very little mana here. But Pure Llama's got Flash, has got Harvest, goes in. Oh, just starts it off with the ult. No heroic charge needed, just going to start it off with the ult, Smite, Q Flash right on in, and get that Dark Harvest proc for the kill.
Yeah, very intelligent play, not forcing the Rise under tower with the E, using the ult to get that knockup. Really well done from the side of Pure Llama, but honestly, Giovanni should know that the Draken just went down. You need to be hugging the opposite side, and especially when the wave is pushing away from you, and you're into a Cassio with flash up. That could easily have happened with Cassio just flashing on him and finishing him also, so a little bit greedy for the wave on that one. But Fake Archer throwing down the Lantern like he was going to go for a flash play, but it looks like he's going to opt away from it.
Yeah, and one of the big things here is that while Vanal did get a bunch of extra gold with that kill, hadn't quite backed yet, so if they were going to go for a play, that would have been the time to do it. But Vanal's gonna go back, has tier 2 boots now, but still no flash, still no heal on the Vayne. So because of that, you could definitely go for a play here. And Llama going to drop out, gonna drop the scuttle. There's too much priority on both sides.
Yeah, both the mid and jungle are going to be moving first. Biggest Sneakers has already based, so he's not going to be available for this next fight. And honestly, getting some gold onto Kane is going to be fun, but now Let's Go Venom is going to get a big PTA proc. That's a third of Sadis's health.
Oh boy, and just like that, like this Vayne's already starting to do damage. And it's looking like you don't even need to wait for that 6-item Vayne.
Yeah, with the build path where she's going now, she does a lot more damage early. You can tell a lot by what's going to happen with the proc. But here's going to be Povelter getting a little bit of damage onto Biggest Sneaks, who's going to be ulting away. There's no way to catch this Wukong at this point, but they're continuing to trade as Povelter's taking a bunch of damage. Haymaker is used, and the flash is going to go into the Poppy Shroud as Povelter is going to be forced to flash away. He's under the tower and is going to be safe. Skins Boys 9 is backing off. Giovanni is here though, but Gravio is finding him, and Rise is completely caught out of position. He's going to die for free, so Gravio's going to pick up his second kill.
Oh boy, so Gravio's going to pick up another kill, but somehow Vanal died in the bot lane during all of this.
Yeah, this Vayne dropping, everything had to have land for this to work, so they're going to go all in. The Lantern is extremely well done for the hook out. Really well done by Fake Archer, completely neutralizing this engage.
Oh my god.
That was support diff right there. He hit every skill shot and prevented anything from happening. Really well done.
And crucially, Cyborg Skull's Ignite didn't come down until after Sadis had already healed. Oh, Fake Archer? Not quite.
It is gonna drop
a little bit too greedy.
And
but that's
Gravio.
that's a great amount of gold back onto CFG. And while they are the early game composition, it's not like these teams don't scale. Like Rise still phenomenal in the late game. Ashe, one of the hardest AD carries in the game to play in the late game, but still absolutely no slouch.
Yeah, putting on a bit of a clinic, but that's going to be Biggest Sneak is taking tower shots. He isn't. This dive is not possible. Gravio is just taking tower damage, and he's going to give over a shutdown. The Skins Boy is going to get the flash with the Lantern to get a shield out for him, and wow, Gravio just gives up a shutdown randomly.
All right, so this is the strategy that we like to call investment banking. So we give the enemy team kills, and then all of a sudden, we take those kills back in the form of shutdowns, and you've got basically what shrunk down to a 1k gold lead, but Pure Llama is just going to go right in onto Povelter here.
Yep, and the investments are going all around. Povelter is not going to make it out of this. Biggest Sneak is just waiting for the Q to bonk him down, and it looks like everybody's going to get their trading in. Is it time for stocks? Has the stock market closed yet?
Oh boy.
Fake, and they're not done. Fake Archer's going to get the play. Cyber Skull is going to be too far away. He's going to be hooked up. There's nowhere for this Leona to go. He is already stunned up, and the autos from Ash are going to keep him
This Leo's so
slowed.
tanky.
Gravio is here, and look at how much damage that he's putting out. The poison is ticking, and Skinsboy is going to make it out just by the skin of his teeth. He is lucky he already has that transform. The healing was just enough to make sure he comes out alive.
And just like that, Skinsboy now has enough to get that Gore Drinker fully completed. I don't think you have to fight for this war just yet. But yeah, we're seeing some kills all across the map. PTP are going to go up about 2k gold, but this is still definitely doable from both sides.
Yeah, the amount of kills going over, Skinsboy has managed to catch up with this Kane, picking up 2 kills. He's going to be a big threat if he manages to maintain this farm because he does outpace the Poppy as the game goes on. And as long as Gravio doesn't get any stronger, as Giovanni is forced to run whenever that Q lands.
Yeah, Pole Vulture just barely gonna miss out on that stun there. And I feel like Dekus is just gonna go right on in. Just gonna take a quick trade.
Yeah, really well done on that. You see he used the clone to block the big damage from the Haymaker, didn't hit the middle, so the true damage didn't land. And now he's just getting a bunch of damage followed up onto Pole Velter, but he did get hit by the true damage portion of that, so that trade is going to be coming back into Set's favor towards the end of it.
All right, and yeah, one good trade.
Oh no, it's the 4-man bot party. Pure Llama is going to be spotted out, so the dive should not be occurring. They need to know teleports are available. Set has his, and he can easily come down if this jump is still going to be the option. But it looks like they're just going to go for plates. They want to feed Vayne some gold.
And wow, Dekus is going to kill Pole Vulture in top lane.
Nice. This had to just been an all-in with the ultimate. So yeah, the shield doesn't do anything. Yep, the armor is shredded from the Q, and then he's just obliterated by this Wukong. So Biggest Sneak is really good play.
Yeah, really good play from Dekus here, especially because Pole Vulture having teleport was one of the main things keeping them from going for this play. And they just get the turret plating just before it falls. Really, really good stuff from PCP here. Ballooning their gold lead now.
Yeah, absolutely. They just made it, but Gravio is quite low, and you have Rise moving over here for full HP. The play is going to land for Fake Archer, and a bunch of damage has already dropped onto Gravio, but he's healing so much, and he's going to be living more, and then Fake Archer is going to be the first one to drop. Now, that's going to be Giovanni, who's going to be getting stunned up by the Poppy, and Gravio is going to come with Skinsboy is here. He still has his ultimate available, so he has a lot of opportunities to continue to do more damage as he is doing everything on the back line. Pure Llama is just kiting it out. Look at that, beautifully done. Pure Llama dodged every skill shot he could. And this team fight is no longer going into their favor, as now Sadis is going to be forced to one. Pole Velter is going to do his best job to prevent Biggest Dekus from getting any more kills. And the dash through has come, and Sadis is going to drop. And even the ward, who was doing his best to save him, could not keep Sadis alive.
And just like that, what was looking to be, a really good fight for CFG. Unfortunately, Graviel just lives for a bit too long and puts out enough damage that, PTP are going to once again go positive on that.
Yeah, well done. PTB getting these team fight wins. Fake Archer is doing his best. He's managed to do quite well in both feeds engaged, finding his avenues, but Gravio lived off the skin of his teeth and was able to put out a lot more damage that made this team fight that was otherwise winning a lot more difficult when he managed to just continue to sustain through with all that healing.
Yeah, and really interestingly from Gravio, we see the Luden's Tempest pickup instead of the Leandri's, which means that, you're not going to be getting as much cooldown reduction to spam your skills, and you're not going to be getting the same, poison, burn. But instead, you're going to be getting a lot more move speed in these fights. Which, if you're going Conqueror, honestly, I could totally see it working out. Gravio not opting to take the blue buff.
Yeah, and now he's going to be something. The root is going to land, but the stun is also going to be there. Gravio does have a lot of damage, and to force the flash out from Skinsboy doing a really well-played gank. But as you were saying, at least if this all-in trade is not going to be what occurs, I would expect the Ludens is just because... actually, nope, Sadis is going to be going. The ultimate is going to be there. The Lantern has managed to dodge everything Cyber Skull has, so this fight can continue to happen as the Kane is in the river and is very close. But yeah, as I was saying, Gravio going to Ludens, I like this in this particular game because while it doesn't give you that CDR, it does give you Magic Pin. And none of these champions are going to be MR stackers. And Cassio, if you're going into a negative MR target, can absolutely obliterate them. So I like this particular attack, especially since there's not a lot of health going to be stacked up either.
And Cassio gets more out of mythic items than any other champion in the game because she's going to be building 6 full-on items. So that's 5 legendary items, so you're going to get more from the mythic passives. Especially for a champion that's like this much of a scaler. It's never a bad thing.
Yeah, she saves 1,100 gold every game because she doesn't need sword shoes.
Yeah. Alright, well, Degas and Pole Vaulter are still trading quite a bit in the top lane, but Degas already has the Divine Sunderer fully completed. Oh!
And now they're going to go for the all-in. Sadis is stunned up and he's going to be forced to flash up, but the hook is going to land from Fake Archer. Sadis is going to be caught out by Pure Llama, and he is not going to make it, as Vayne is going to pick up one, and Pure Llama is going to pick up the other. Really well played gank.
Yeah, really well played, and Cyborg managing to tank so much of that tower there, making it look so clean.
Yeah, that one just looked easy. A lot of tank stats coming over from the side of Pure Llama, who's going a little bit of a more damage build. He has his Divine Slunger, so this is not going to be a traditional full tank Poppy, as Pole Vaulter is going to get a little bit of trading onto Biggest Nikas, but honestly, this Wukong has done effectively countered the set in all aspects in this lane matchup.
Yeah, and, you know, one of the things that I said earlier is if you want...
Oh no, Skins Boy's caught out, so he's gonna be found on the dragon, forced to smite. That's
my god!
Picking up the Herald, so this fight is already going into a very poor transition as the Wukong is gonna die. So the trade kills are there. Skins Boy has still managed to alive. He's healing so much. Pure Llama is gonna die if he gives up this kill. This is a huge shutdown. Skins Boy is gonna miss the knockup. So the chase is on now. Gianni's flashing in, but he has nothing else to provide. He is gonna give his life over to Pure Llama. Geez, the Poppy is being really disrespected. Gotta understand, these stuns could be everywhere. The hook is gonna land, the knockup is there, but there's nothing else that can occur.
Yeah, you know, Dark Harvest Poppy, not exactly the most meta pick, but definitely still a very strong one, and you can see it in solo queue every now and then. And they're just, I feel like CFG's just not respecting the Poppy and not aware of what she's capable of.
If you're hugging that wall, you will get the hammer, and she does a lot of damage, especially in these jungle corridors, which is honestly where Poppy wants to fight most often.
Yeah, I know that I said earlier that CFG had the comp that would do better if they, you know, just kind of ended the game earlier. But PTP are doing really well in these small early skirmishes, and just like that, they have a 5k gold lead at before 20 minutes even.
Yeah, they've opened up the bit of the going. Coin Flip Gaming has managed to accrue a lot of CS onto their carries, so they are going to be able to scale up in that avenue. But they're going to need to fight a little bit more, a little bit smarter if they want to counter what PTB has been putting out. They're not that far down in gold; they're still completely comebackable. But yeah, these jungle corridor fights has not been going into their advantage.
All right, and it feels like both junglers are still taking the blue buffs. Which on the side of CFG, honestly, I don't mind that much.
Here's the fan. Pure Llama is going to be getting caught out. The teleport is going to be Fake Archer has landed the hook, and everything is going to be available. Pure Llama is forced to flash out, but is rooted, and he's going to die. Gravio is now caught out. The Pro Nuvo is not going to land, but a bunch of damage coming out from this Cassio as Giovanni is getting chunked. He's going to be following himself in the death chambers. This is a lot of damage. They are navigating this team fight purposely as everyone is just dropping. Look at how much damage Cassio is putting out. Wukong is going to pick up a double kill as he finds Ashe on the back line, and Cassiopeia is going to clean up the rest. So PTV did lose their jungler, but picked up everybody else in return.
Yeah, and just like that, you know, 1 shutdown going over, but 4 kills on the other side. Like, just like that, I think they're transitioning over to Baron here. And Graviel and Vayne do so much damage, but at the same time, you cannot ignore the Wukong. And Wukong is just doing so much that his backliners are allowed to just do whatever they want. PTP are playing this incredibly well. And
really intelligent Baron call. Cassio does so much damage to Baron, and so does Vayne. So they chunk out objectives, and Poppy's gonna move in just to smite it away. But yeah, really well done. This is a huge opening into the game. 10,000 gold up.
Yeah, and you know it was 5,000 just a minute ago, and they've all backed. They've all used up their gold. We got the Rage Blade fully completed on Vayne. We've got Demonic Embrace starting to be finished up on Cassiopeia. And this team's looking harder and harder to play against.
Yeah, and this dragon fight could easily be the game if Team Coin Flip Gaming does not manage to win it. They're posturing quite aggressively. I don't think they're going to be able to take it. Set is not here, and he's going to be teleporting in if he chooses to join. And yeah, it looked like just giving the Draco over. This is going to put PTP on soul point, but you just can't fight this one. There's too much gold on the other side.
Alright. So let's see how they go here.
Oh no, the Q has
Gravio.
landed, and Pole Velter is going to be in trouble. Pole Velter is going to ult him back in. Gravio is going to flash, dodge the
Oh,
Haymaker,
good flash.
and now look how much speed Cassius has as he's looking for the chase down, and is not going to be able to find it. A Set is going to get enough move speed to dodge that last kill.
Yeah, what a flash from Gravio. Like, honestly, Set's 0-3. He's not necessarily going to do that much damage, but a good amount of respect there, because that was full grit and fully max W, I would expect at this point in the game. So flashing there to make sure to not give any chances to the Set for outplay.
Oh, Poke's
good
gonna
hook.
land onto Vayne, but that's not gonna be anything further. They are not strong enough to fight. As Gravio is gonna land a stun, a lot of damage coming out. Look at that kiting.
Oh my
Dies
God.
the Haymaker. Nothing's gonna happen. Pole Velter is just gonna get smurfed on. He's gonna find himself into the death chambers as Gravio has executed that one perfectly.
Yeah, and just like that, Gravio, legendary right now. 6-2 on this Cassiopeia. And like almost, 51 CS up right now, I believe.
Yeah, when it comes to mage plays, Gravio has come out as kind of a hidden gem. His expectations for him were quite low coming in, but now he's actually going to be in a bit of trouble.
Oh.
But he's really fast. If Kane doesn't land this next knockup, this could easily be a turn. He's missed a little bit too many Qs, and Skinsboy is not going to have enough as he's going to drop. But yeah, when it comes to his mage play, he has played them quite well, and he's been a threat in every game so far, even though there's only a 2-game sample size.
Yeah, and Journal gonna pick that up with the Rune Prison, but another inhib going down on the side of the CFG, and PTP are making use of this Baron.
Ultimate from Cyber is going to come out, but it's not going to land on anyone. And now the stun's going to be a lot of damage onto Sadis, who's going to be forced to back. Pole Velter does not have the health bar to survive. This is everyone being in trouble. Giovanni is being forced to flash out. They're going to continue to die. Pure Llama is going to be hooked up, and the Flayaway is going to come. Fake Archer is going to be finding himself in the death chambers as well. Wukong is just doing too much work, and everybody is dying. And Vayne is going to pick up the rest with a triple kill coming up, a quadra kill for Biggest Sneakers. And they decide 24 minutes is all this game is going to be, as they are going to wrap up a quick one versus Coin Flip Gaming.
Oh boy, PTP giving us a super long game yesterday, but what's looking significantly stronger this time around.
Yeah, what can they say? They smacked the children, put them back, and said that we're ready to go. They're trying to just pack it up a little early today, ship it out. But that was easily one of the best games we've seen PTB play in 2 seasons, and wow, that one was a smashing.
Yeah, amazing stuff from PTP. They're starting off their season 2-0. They've come to play.
Yeah, what can we say? Gravio putting out the massive amount of damage, and Biggest Sneakers was a big carry as well. I don't know who you guys would vote for the MVP of this series, but we should definitely start doing that. But hopefully we'll be hearing for whoever Chris thinks is the MVP as we're going to hop right into an interview, and I cannot wait to hear what these guys are going to say.
Welcome, folks. This is Chris Edgeworth here for your first interview of Day 2 for Helios. I am joined by Let's Do Vanal from the victorious Pentakill team up, please. Let's start off real quick with what are your thoughts for yourself, Let's Do Vanal, as you come back in the Helios League for this season. What was your prep like for the season? We had a chance to speak with your colleague yesterday after your win. What were your thoughts prepping for this season and coming in?
So, Chris messaged me about a week before the due date for lock-in and said, are you guys joining again? You have about a week to get a team. Well, I told the team I wasn't interested. So after the last season where we literally didn't win a single game besides a default one, I wasn't interested in just getting smacked around again. And then Pure Llama showed up in my inbox and said, let's get a team together. I'll help you build it and let's see where it goes. From there, we built it, and we probably played 5 or 6 times during that week, or a week before, we showed up yesterday. That's about it.
Hey, well, it looks like it's really paid off for you folks. Yesterday was, frankly, a little bit more sweaty than today, let's be honest. But I think in both games, obviously, PTP really showed what we had seen in previous seasons from the various members of this team that have played throughout here. So this has been a really return to form, in my opinion, for the likes of PTP. And I just want to ask you as we get into this game, the second game of the season, the spicy Let's Do Vanal Vein. What were your thoughts on the draft that you folks put together and what you're up against?
All right, so I was going to lie when I say this, but I have to say it. So we actually played an ARAM game about 10 minutes before draft, and we had a perfect draft. And so I was going to say that we actually played this exact team comp in ARAM before, and so we decided to play it, but that's not the case. Cyborg actually does all the scouting, all the picks, where we should play what, and so I just leave it to him and let him do the decisions.
Well, obviously, you folks seem to have turned it into a winning formula on this game, and let's talk a little bit about this game itself. So, if I might actually, let's muddle this a little bit with yesterday's game. If you can give me, Vanal, your thoughts on this weekend, so to speak, or the lead up into this weekend for our first round of Helios games. What are your thoughts on your matchup here against CFG tonight, and then maybe if you have any thoughts on yesterday's game against Girl.
CFG, so we came into the game very confident, obviously, because we won yesterday. So we came into the game very confident, and then our communication across the board, everybody was talking. Everybody was roaming. If mid was roaming top, either Poppy was showing up or the Leo was, headed that way. We were always keeping track of every single member on their team and where they were before we made a decision. Yesterday, we made a couple plays that we shouldn't have. We talked about it last night, watched the VOD, discuss, we can't do this, we can't do that. We can't check a tri-bush as Scion, just stupid stuff like that. It's just little things that will get blown out of the water as we continue through this series.
I definitely want to, I wouldn't necessarily call out, but I would just point out, returning to us from the so-called gauntlet of the Mythic League, you folks, as you pointed out, did get a little smack bottom, so to speak, in the last series. But I think that experience, though, has been shown on great display for these last 2 games. You folks have definitely developed in your skill, and it's very interesting to see PTP coming back with a vengeance, so to speak, in this regard. So I just want to ask you, before we step away, any final thoughts, Let's Do Vanal, as we get ready for this encouraging season for Pentakill Teemo, please, and the Helios League at large. Do you have any banter you want to drop, or any shouts out you want to leave with us?
I just want to shout out Chris for running this whole organization. Obviously, my team, PTP. I mean, if it wasn't for all the members of PTP, PTP wouldn't exist. And I hope INT loses today. And that's it.
There we go. Simple message. Shouts out to the staff. INT, hope you lose. Get lost, losers. And, tip of the hat to you folks at PTP for your win today. 2-0 weekend to start off the season. And thank you so much, Let's Do Vanal, for this interview. Appreciate it a lot. Folks, don't go anywhere, though. We'll be back with the so-called Game 3 of today, our second game live, but we'll be back soon, so don't go away. We'll be back right back after an intermission, so don't go away.
I'ma have to bust it. I'ma have to bust it. Bust it. I'ma have to bust it. I'ma have to bust it. I'ma have to bust it. Bust it, bust it, bust it. I'ma have to bust it. Bust it, bust it, bust it. I'ma